Hello everyone, and welcome to the Missouri School Boards Association's Board Report for the month of December. We thank you for the opportunity to share some news and information during a few minutes of your board meeting. We begin with a preview of the 2013 session of the General Assembly. As a result of the November elections, Republicans in both the House and Senate will have veto-proof majorities when the legislature convenes on January 9th. That means they could override vetoes by Governor Jay Nixon, assuming all members vote together, according to MSBA's Associate Executive Director for Advocacy, Mike Reed.
It changes the dynamics. Some of the House leadership has said, it's a new day for us. We're going to go and do the programs we want to, and now it's time for the governor to come in and work with the House and the Senate. I certainly hope that there will be a lot of cooperation between the elected state officials and the General Assembly, because stalemate in government is not good.
MSBA's priorities for the session include tax credit reform and fully funding the foundation formula. However, Reed says given the state's continuing budget challenges, he's expecting flat funding once again for the formula. Another issue that might get some attention this year is raising the current 15% limit on bonding capacity for school districts. That could help school districts in the state meet their construction needs.
It's actually an economic tool. The pent-up demand for new construction in education is tremendous in the state of Missouri, and we are kept down by that 15%. So we are working with several groups, including we're discussing with the Farm Bureau. The Farm Bureau has in the past been very reluctant to support the increase in the 15%, but they are now looking at this as perhaps something that is good for kids, and that's what it's all about, is what's good for kids. So I look for that we will get at least some discussion on this year.
Reed says it's critical that school boards and superintendents meet with their local legislators prior to the start of the legislative session to discuss education issues that are likely to come before the General Assembly next year. We'll be keeping you current on legislative developments through our weekly Legislative Voice electronic newsletter, our weekly Capitol Watch video program, our daily blog on the MSBA website, and through critical issue alerts. Also, we urge you to participate in the School Board Advocacy Network visits to Jefferson City during the legislative session. We have scheduled days at the Capitol for each region of the state, but if you can't make it on your region's date, you can certainly visit Jefferson City anytime during the session to meet with your local legislators. Well, you've undoubtedly heard a lot about the fiscal cliff, or sequestration as it's known in Washington, facing the federal government in early January unless Congress acts to stop it. If the budget cuts associated with sequestration do take effect, that would mean a roughly 8% federal funding cut to school districts for programs serving disadvantaged students such as Title I and special education students under the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. MSBA and other members of Missouri's Education Roundtable are urging our congressional delegation to stop the automatic federal budget cuts from taking place. Here's a video on the issue produced by MSBA for the National School Boards Association.
Our students deserve a world-class education that prepares them to succeed in the global economy. Federal dollars help provide our students with the 21st century skills and knowledge they need. Without federal funding to help address the academic needs of our students, schools will be forced to cut critical programs and jeopardize student learning. The result could be larger class sizes, cuts in federal funding for special education, fewer programs for math, science, and reading, and less access to technology. Congress has passed legislation that will impose automatic budget cuts to education. Also called sequestration, these harmful cuts would undermine the success of our students. Without a sustained federal investment in high-quality schools, our students and our economy will suffer. Join your local school board members to urge Congress to stop the federal funding cuts to education. Act now. Share this video and learn how you can help by visiting the National School Boards Action Center website at nsbac.org.
If you've not already done so, we urge your school board to consider passing a resolution opposing sequestration. A sample resolution can be found on the National School Boards Association's website at www.nsba.org. That's it for this month's edition of the MSBA Board Report. Thanks for allowing us to have some time at your board meeting, and so long from Columbia.